Okay, we are getting to one of the most powerful Torah portion. But before that, just to finish up with the last week Torah portion, Beshalach, when we saw that the Jewish people. Oh, well, before I start, I'm sorry. I have to start from the beginning. First of all, I have to thank Hashem that we are here. That's number one. Then I have to thank all of you for all your kind words and support and everything. God bless you. And then, of course, I have to thank the technician. Without the technician, we cannot do anything. Okay, so now that we say that, and I really mean it, Baruch Hashem, we get into this Torah portion of Beshalach, of not this Shabbat before that, when the Jewish people just, finish not crossing, but coming from the Red Sea, as I told you before, they went like in a U shape, and they came back. The Egyptian Pharaoh and all his uh, army drowned, except Pharaoh. Pharaoh was saved. However, of course, the Torah tells us a description of what the things that the Jewish people saw. It was unbelievable, and they saw the Shekhinah. It's something. It's hard to even to describe. However, there was one concept, one result that happened because of this event, on top of the other event that happened to the Jewish people, is that, and I'm going to read it to you soon from the Torah, that all the nations all over the world, they were shivering, they were scared, and they didn't know how to handle the Jews. The Torah tells us in very specifically, chapter 15, verses 14 to 16. It says all the big nations, Edom and Moab and Ammon and Canaan, all of them were shivering. And how do we know that? This is a song that we say every day in the Tefillah, in Shachrit, every morning, as a Shir Moshe. As you remember the song, right? I'm just going to remind you, just in case you forgot. אז ישיר משה ובני ישראל את השירה הזאת להשם ויאמרו לאמור. Okay, so now 40 years after the Moshe Rabbeinu passed away and they had to enter to the Holy Land, and Joshua sent spies to see what's going on, and he sent 2 spies to Jericho. And of course, they met over there the woman, her name Rachav. Then she married Joshua later on. She told him, this is 40 years after, she told him, all the nations in the world are scared and shivering from you guys. And that's what happened to the world then. And I wonder, and I know, if it says clearly, if we follow Hashem's commandment, Hashem can do the same thing today. And I'm going to show you later on, maybe I did already before, how the whole world can come and kiss our feet, the feet that we walk on. It's unbelievable. It's only up to us. Okay, so that it was one of the results of the crossing the sea. And right after that, we mentioned that last week, that the Amalekites came to attack the Jewish people. And we said they had no business with the Jewish people. There was nothing to do with them, but they came from nowhere to show us that when we are too weak in Torah study and keeping the mitzvot, then Hashem sent us a reminders. And Amalek is one of them. So Amalek is not only a nation that wanted to kill the Jewish people, it's also, we have personal Amalek that we have to know how to deal and handle with them on a daily basis. Okay, now we're moving on to the Torah portion of Yitro. This is unbelievable. Why is it unbelievable? You have to think about it. Yitro was number 1 priest at the time, and he was well respected. As a matter of fact, he was one of the 3 advisors, top advisors of Pharaoh. I don't know if you remember, Pharaoh has 3 advisors. One was Bilam, Job or Yor, and Jethro. When they came with this idea to kill all the baby borns and all the males, Bilam was the one that supported this idea wholeheartedly. He said, absolutely, to kill them, no problem. Job did not know what to do, he ran away. I mean, he was quiet. He was quiet. Jethro ran away. So what was the punishment of all of them, or the reward, whatever? Bilam wanted to kill. He was killed by the Jews. Job, that was quiet, did not say anything. He was suffered major uh, losses. He lost all his wealth, his family. He was sick, but then Hashem gave him back everything later on. And Jethro, that ran away, Hashem rewarded him big time. And one of the things is that he became to be the father-in-law of Moses. It's not something simple. Excuse me. Anyway, now it says that the Torah portion started with Jethro. It says, Vayishma Yitro. And Jethro heard. What did he hear? I mean, the whole world knew about what, when it says the split, the Red Sea was the Jewish people went through the Red Sea because the water split. It says that all the waters in the world, it happened to them too, especially to the Egyptian. Let's say an Egyptian guy taking a bath in China. All of a sudden, the tub was split in half. And an Egyptian guy eats in Congo, he's having soup. All of a sudden, the plate, then the soup split also. So they heard all over the world. They heard about it. So now, there's this unbelievable idea that we have to understand how Hashem does all this great thing for us to make us closer to Him. And really, it's up to us that Hashem will give us only the best things. So Yitro heard about all the miracles that happened to us, to the Jewish people, and he decided. Listen, this is not simple what he did. He decided to convert. Now he was the leader of the world at the time of all the idol worshippers, and he decided to convert. Now, what happened to the rest of the people? I mean, they didn't do what he did, but he had he was very brave. And as a matter of fact, the Torah portion, when they're talking about Jethro, at the beginning they describe him as the biggest priest in Midian, and then after that they describe him as the father-in-law of Moses. Big difference, big difference. And of course, we have to understand that he did the right thing. Okay, so now Jethro heard, the rest of the world heard, but they did not do anything like he did. It's like today when we have, God forbid, all these big problems, and we see, we heard, and we hear, and some people still sleeping, some people wake up. The idea that Hashem gives us all these messages to wake up and to come closer to Him. And really, it's up to us to get the messages, because sometimes Hashem said, listen, I'm giving you so many messages, you have to see what's going on. The Midrash brings a very beautiful example about a kid that his father is carrying him on his shoulder. And every time the kid asks the father something, and the father does everything that the kid asking him. And after a while, the kid saw a stranger walking by. He said, excuse me, did you see my father? So the father said, what? After all this, what I'm doing for you, you're asking this question? So he threw him down to the floor, and it says, a dog came and bit him. What's the idea? I mean, we see Hashem with us all the time, and then we ask questions about Hashem, about this. So Hashem brings us all this kind of events in life to wake us up. Because as we said many times before, the good and the bad doesn't come from Hashem. It is only consequences of our deeds. Okay, so that's the whole idea. So now we have Yitro became to be part of the Jewish people, and he, as a matter of fact, helping Moshe. He gave him some advice how to run the community, because he saw Moshe Rabbeinu is really working very hard from morning to night to solve problems and all by himself. So he gave him a good advice how to split the nation to different groups, and every group will have a leader, and they will judge the people whatever they have to do, and he will be the biggest, the highest figure that if they don't know how to solve a problem, they'll come to him. So but then there was something very very interesting. It says that um, Moses sent Jethro back home, and the question was why. So there's many different answers, but it says that one of the reasons was that he didn't suffer like the Jewish people as slaves, and he was not supposed to be in Mount Sinai to receive the Torah. So he had to be away. That's one of the reasons. There are different other reasons, but that's what it says here. Anyway, he stays. We know, the descendants of Jethro became to be big rabbis. It's unbelievable the rewards that he received. So now we are just about going to one of the biggest, maybe the biggest of in the Jewish history that happened to the Jewish people in Mount Sinai, right? I don't know if you had a chance to visit there. It is a beautiful place. Just to give you an idea that everything that in the Torah is 100% right. There is I think it's either in England or in Holland, I'm not sure. There is in a museum, there is a description in details of the 10 plagues that happened in Egypt by an Egyptian reporter. And according to what I heard, they put this description of this guy and the 10 plagues next to each other. It was almost identical, this description that he said, that he told the people. At that time, we're talking then. And then we know that they found some remnants of the chariots that was into the Red Sea, to show you that it really happened. And by the way, many years before that, if you remember the story of Noah's Ark, they found the remnants of this ark in I think Turkey somewhere, and you can visit there if you want by helicopter. That's what I heard. So I don't know if you're going to do that, but to show you that everything that happened in the Torah is really happened in real life. Okay, so now we get to the biggest event, I think, of the 5 books of Moses, which is receiving the 10 commandments. Now, the 10 commandments, as we see them in the Bible, everybody, I guess, know them or know most of them, but really, it's we received all the mitzvot at the same time, and not only the written Torah we received also the oral Torah. In the whole Torah was given to the Jewish people on Mount Sinai. Now, there's something very, I would say, only Hashem can do that. When the Jewish people came from after the slavery, after wandering in the desert for 40 years, not all of them were healthy. Some of them were sick. Some of them were, I don't know, disabled, whatever. But there is a description in the Torah that when they stood next to in the bottom of the mountain, it says that all the Jewish people were healthy 100%. No blind people, no disabled people. Everybody was 100% healthy, and in order to receive the Torah. So, I mean, we sometimes forget how much Hashem can do for us. And in chapter, I believe 82 in Tehillim, King David says, and Hashem said to the Jewish people, "V'ani amarti Elokim atem." You are like God. I mean, I love you so much. You can be the highest level of people, but we forget. Now, before I want to go to the Ten Commandments that we all know, I want to show you something. It's a promise, and it's something that Hashem said to the Jewish people. I mean, um, all the nations, all the other religions, they should know that it's not something that we invented. Hashem said that, and it's very important to know because we cannot forget our status. I just want to see here. I think it's chapter 19, verse 5. Let me see if I can find it quickly. Yeah, let's look what it says here. It is unbelievable. Okay, so I'm gonna just read it to you so you'll understand. So the whole world should understand that. I mean, nobody can really contradict that. It says like this: and now, if you hearken well to me and observe my covenant, okay, you shall be to me the most beloved treasure of all peoples. For mine is the entire world. Okay? You should be to me a kingdom of ministers and a holy nation. That's what Hashem tells us. And I mean, everybody should know that. Everybody should accept that. And well, that's why I think one of the reasons why people hate us, because Hashem chose us. I mean, that's Hashem decision. It's not our decision. So now the Jewish people, Hashem told Moshe Rabbeinu, they have to be pure and clean before they receive the Torah. And that was, I mean, most of us saw some movies about the Ten Commandments, maybe is that all this effect that the movie, but it was something that was unbelievable. The noises, the fire, the smoke. It's again, King David said that even the mountains around were kind of dancing. So somebody asked, "Is that real?" So I forgot who wrote that. Big rabbi. He said, "Yes, it's was like an earthquake. Everybody was shaking, even mountains, to show the effect of the Torah when it came down to to earth for the Jewish people to take it." So Moshe Rabbeinu, of course, had to go to the mountain and to not only to receive the Torah but to learn it. And we know that there was a discussion between God and the angels. They said, "Hashem, how do you give a Torah to mankind? The Torah belongs to heaven. So, it's not right that people will take it from us. We angel, we in heaven, and the Torah belongs here." So Hashem told Moshe Rabbeinu, "Please answer them." So Moshe Rabbeinu said, "Hashem, I'm afraid, they can burn me with who knows what. They can just make me vanish." He said, "Don't worry. You hold to my throne here and answer them." So Moshe Rabbeinu asked them, "Excuse me, dear angels, do you do the mitzvah of respecting your parents? Do you have parents to respect?" He said, "No." "Do you have the mitzvah of don't kill? I mean, do you kill each other here, the angels?" We never heard about something like that. They know. So he gave them all list of things that they don't do. So he said, "You see, is this enough for you? It's for us people here on earth to fulfill all these commandments." Then they, of course, they understood the idea and they thanked him, and they said, "Alita lamarom shavita shevi." Moshe Rabbeinu went to heaven, and he brought with him, he captured a major gift. Now, shevi in Hebrew, shin bet yud. Shevi is like you got like you release a prisoner. Shevi. So who was a Shevi? It's an acronym of the name Shimon Bar Yochai. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. He brought the soul to the Jewish people, and there's some other explanation too. Anyway, so now we get the 10 commandments. This is something that, the whole world heard about it. And Hashem, if you pay attention, the first three is talking about Hashem. I'm your God. Don't worship any other God. Mention my name in vain. Because these three things about God, we must follow that like all the rest. And then comes Shabbat, of course, very important. It says at least 12 times in the Torah that we must keep Shabbat, otherwise the punishment is death. And then comes to respect your parents. Now, why Hashem put respecting your parents in the first five? I see the first three is talking about Hashem, then Shabbat, and then respecting the parents. And then on the other five, we see different commandments between men and people. So to show you that respecting parents, it is so severe commandment, and we cannot think that it's something simple. You can see that. So what happens is that we have to remember that, as I said, to respect parents, Hashem taught Moshe Rabbeinu that to make sure that people will understand that. However, listen to this, idea is it's unbelievable. The same way we have to respect and obey to our parents, of course, have to obey theirs and Hashem. And it says clearly in Parashat Kedoshim, if your parent, one of your parents, tells you to do something against the Torah, you are allowed not to listen to them. Why? Because we have father, our parents have father, and everybody has a father, which is Hashem. So if we have a teacher and a student, who do you listen to? You listen to the teacher, not to the student. So when Hashem said to keep all the commandments, we must do that. And if God forbid, let's say, in today's life is the many different situations when parents are religious and kids are not, when the kids are religious and the parents are not. It's a whole different situations. So in case when the parents are not religious and they tell the kids to do something against the Torah, there's no question that the kids must obey to Hashem and obey to the parents, because that's the way it goes. And I can tell you that it's very simple idea, because I was in the army, and if you don't listen to your sergeant, you go to jail. There's no question about it. No, that's it. So if Hashem is bigger than the sergeant, we have to listen to him. And the whole 630 mitzvot, including in it, and we have the breakdown of the rabbis. They show us in different books all the mitzvot, and as I said before, also the oral Torah. So nobody can say that we invented things, or we have some ideas. It's coming from nowhere. Everything was given by Hashem, and the idea is to fulfill all these mitzvot in order for us to get plentiful. It says, the non-Jewish 7 mitzvot, we have 613, and the idea is the more mitzvot we have, the more rewards we can get. So why not to have more mitzvot? For instance, just for an example, to make it clear, if you get $1 million for every mitzvah, if you have 7 mitzvot, you get $7 million. If you have 613 mitzvot, make the calculation. So why not to get more? Hashem, give us more than 613. Why not? But it's up to us, of course, to keep them. Okay, so Be'ezat Hashem, we can continue on talking about this Torah portion. We didn't finish. The time is finished, but we have to go. However, there's much more to talk about it. Bezrat Hashem, Neder. If the Mashiach is not going to come by next Sunday, then we'll continue. Bezrat Hashem, happy and healthy. If you have any questions, I'll be very happy to answer.
Listen, I was again looking at Rush, and I wanted to check with you to see if I had the right understanding. When Yitro had the I don't know, I guess party, and it talks about how Aaron was there, and even the presence of Hashem was there, but they didn't mention and Moshe.
Yes.
It, it wasn't because he wasn't there physically. He was actually helping out and serving the
Yes, he was
guests.
serving. He was serving. Yeah, everybody said, how come he did that? Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
So when Yitro says, "What are you doing with these people?" I mean, when he was sitting and teaching Torah to the people, was it the fact that Yitro was saying, "You're nice to us, but you're not nice to the Jewish people. You're treating them like you're above them"? Is that correct?
No, the idea of, um, even Moses was the biggest person in the world, okay?
Mm-hmm.
He still has father-in-law. And we know that when you have father and father-in-law, you must respect them. Now,
Okay.
there's different questions. Uh, what happens if father is just a simple man and the son is a big scholar? Who should stand for when you come to the room? Or different other aspect of respect. A father is a father. You must respect the father, even though he's not, let's say, scholar, but you have to respect him. Not only that, Moshe Rabbeinu wanted to get it just to be on his side with the tshuva and with the conversion, to make him feel good, to feel like you're one of us. And yeah, you might say a man like Moses should not really do that, but he just show that he's humble, as the Torah said. And when it comes to the Jewish people, it's not that he didn't show and to be nice. He had to judge them. He had to judge them fairly. This is very important, very interesting. It says when Aharon Kohen died, it says all the houses of the Jewish people they were mourning him.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody. But when Moses died, it didn't say that. It didn't say all the houses. It says only all. Why is that? Aaron was chasing and peace. He was making peace with all the people. He loved everybody and everyone loved him. But Moshe Rabbeinu was a judge. When you're a judge, yeah, some people don't like you because they send them to jail or you punish them. So you see, even here, Moshe Rabbeinu is a Moshe Rabbeinu. He's a leader, and he has to be fair to everybody. It's different than Aaron. But of course, he loved the Jewish people more than anything else. We know that when he came to Hashem to complain to Hashem, how do you do this to the Jewish people? So he was defending them all the time. But with them, he was very tough.
How should a non-Jew respect parents if they behave cruel to their children? Should they run away from them? Should they obey them? Is middle ground acceptable to Hashem?
Okay, this is a very tough question. Most parents are nice human beings. We know that even if you look at nature, you see even very scary animals. When it comes to the kids, they're very passionate, very compassionate, and they love them. They take care of them. They defend them. This is the norm. That's how Hashem created the world. If there are some cases of normality and some crazy people, then yeah, you have to. I don't know how you do it in the rest of the world, but you should stay away. If the parents are really crazy, or they're drunk, or they're drugged, or whatever, abusive, whatever, you should stay away from them and run away. Otherwise, you have to save your life. You can be abused by parents and still respect him, when the parent doesn't recognize God and the commandments. However, if in the Jewish world, uh, you have to ask the rabbi that is in the community exactly what to do, and there are different solutions.
Okay, that's it.
Okay, thank you very much for coming. I appreciate all your again support, and God bless you. And we'll see you, Bezrat Hashem, next Sunday. Thank you. Have a good day.